Let's talk about the UFC 311 press conference and how Merab Dvalishvili is literally the guy that stole the show. And listen, man, I know I'm not a big Merab fan. A lot of people have all of a sudden become big Merab fans. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan, man, but he's funny as fuck, dude. Like, he really is. He really is. I had a great time watching him at the press conference. I thought it was a pretty decent one. Like, we've gotten some really shit, like, NPC press conferences recently. Like, 310 sucked. 309 was only good because the crowd went nuts for, like, Aspinall. What was 308 was pretty good because we had Ilya and Max, and there was a little shit talk there. But, like, 307 wasn't good. No one was really speaking English. 306 was the Sphere. That was a fucking terrible one. So we've had some shit press conferences, but, like, this one was pretty decent. A little short, but it was decent. There were some personalities on it. We had, obviously, the main event and the co-main event, Merab, Umar, Islam, Arman, and then you had Jamal Hill, Yuri, Moicano, Beneil Dariush, Kevin Holland, Renier de Ritter. Now, I know that I said Islam and Arman, but it was like they weren't there because they literally just did not get involved in the press conference at all. They had a couple questions. It was like, Arman could not be bothered to answer a question, so there are two things that I'm thinking there. He either is having a really tough weight cut, or he is just, like, doesn't give a shit, doesn't want to be there. But I look at that and I'm like, bro, you're on, like, the biggest stage of your career. Have a chance to make your name for yourself. He's super young, even with a loss. If he starts yapping a lot, keeps his name interesting, like, everyone's going to care about what he does next still. And this one, it's like, I don't know, it's just like he couldn't be bothered to be there. So maybe the weight cut was tough. Maybe it's just not his thing. But, like, I don't know, dude. I see Arman as the type of guy that's, like, could be very, very popular in the sport. And just see him not even try was a little questionable. Islam Makhachev just also didn't really bite into it that much. I don't know if they had some kind of agreement where they just weren't going to talk shit. But, like, neither of those two really did anything at this press conference. But the one who did was Merab and Umar. And they fucking stole the show. It was absolutely hilarious. This starts out, and the first thing I want to talk about is they're walking out, and Moicano's like the third guy to walk out, so it was the two main card openers, and then I think Moicano was next because he's a little lower ranked than Dariush, and he just starts chucking money at the crowd. Fucking hilarious. Guy can't afford to lose now, so, like, he had the money, he throws it away, now he can't afford to lose. It's just, like, it's funny, dude. It plays into his whole shtick. I love it, dude. I love it. Like, just walks out and just makes his name known immediately. Starts throwing shit at the crowd, and, like, the crowd's giving him an ovation because, first of all, they're getting money. Like, how can you not give the fucking guy that's absolutely chucking change at you an ovation? But, like, Moicano's like one of these guys that I feel like he's always deserved the fan base, and he wasn't really getting it until recently. Now he started winning, so everyone's noticing and shit like that. But don't worry, Moicano, bro. I've always seen you, bro. Dude, he's funny as shit, man. It's good to see him finally get, like, this respect he deserves. So that's kind of how it starts. And then everyone gets up there, and immediately it's like Oscar Willis' first question to Merab. Let just fucking set him off immediately. Hey, Merab, like, what are your thoughts on Umar, talking crap about you and your country or whatever again? And Merab just starts, immediately sees red. This is disrespectful, guys. I cannot believe this is what he's saying. We will see on Saturday night. He is not a tough guy. He's not even from Dagestan. He is Russia. Russia don't even like Dagestan. It's like, just set him off. Like, he got set off so easy. Oscar Willis knew the assignment. He did. He knows, let's just get this Kickstarter right away. Have Merab start yapping. It's going to make Umar yap, and they're just going to go back and forth. And dude, that's kind of how it started. Like, it was just Merab and Umar shit-talking each other about their nationalities. You're not from Russia, you're from Dagestan, but you really do rep the Russian flag, and, you are Russia. It's like, just, you can't really understand, like, the way the sentences are going, but he's just talking shit about his nationality. Umar's chirping back saying, what is? I am more Georgian than you. What is, brother? Just brother, and I'm talking about he's more Georgian than Merab because Merab went to America, and then Merab all of a sudden goes on this genuine 3.5, 4-minute tangent with no one else jumping in between, explaining what the American dream is and what migrating from Georgia to America did for him, how it meant so much to him, blah, 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 going off for so long to the point where we're all sitting there, we're like, dude, he's actually just going to go until someone cuts him off and stops him. And he literally just kept going. this is, thank you, Dana White. Thank you, Dana White. I was doing construction in Georgia, and, I came, and I followed my dream in the United States, and thank you, Dana White. This is American dream. I came to America to follow my dream, become MMA fighter. And he's just going in circles, explaining what the American dream is to a bunch of people from Los Angeles that know exactly what the fuck it is. Starts explaining immigration. Like, I know Guru said the same thing, but he's literally explaining what, like, migration means. Like, he's just going on this tangent, teaching people literally what this shit means. Like, we don't already know, and he doesn't stop. He literally just doesn't stop. Goes on for minutes and minutes and minutes, and finally someone jumps in. We're like, all right, we got more questions. Dana White's like, anyone else have another fucking question before Merab goes on another 10-minute tangent? And we're all sitting there like, what the fuck is going on right now? Umar starts again stirring the pot, but like before he kind of jumps back in and throws some more shade at Merab, Yuri gets asked a question about his hair. Hey, what's going on with your hair? Obviously, I'm sure that was like a pre-written question, essentially, just like, we don't fucking deserve someone like Yuri, man. So the whole story between Yuri's shaved head, that he's not wearing the thing anymore, but ESPN did a post about a girl who, before shaving her head to go through chemo, she put her hair up like Yuri because she's a big fan. Very wholesome moment. And so what does Yuri do? The stand-up guy that he is, he just goes in there with her and he shaves his head. He goes, she's got to shave her head, I'm going to shave my head. And then he also mentions he's going to donate 1 million kroner. First he said 1 million, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, this guy's going to give her $1 million. That is insane. It's about $45,000 US, which is a great donation. It gets a little hard to understand what he's saying, and the crowd's kind of like trying to understand it. And Dana White, to his credit, kind of sees that, and he goes, hey, just to repeat what he said is like, there's a girl that has to go into chemo because she's dealing with cancer. Yuri shaved his head for her. He's also going to be donating 1 million kroner, about $50,000 US. You know what? I'm going to match it. So great moment from Dana White. He's got the money to do so. It's a great thing to do. Great cause. It's just awesome to see that. Yuri, man, he's just a good fucking dude. Like, we don't deserve someone like him in this sport, dude. He's just he's a violent, brutal guy in the cage, but outside the cage, he's like a true samurai, true good dude, like he's a fucking good dude. Like, I can't say that enough. Like, we just don't deserve someone like Yuri. I know Jamal Hill's clapping it up, so like, good respect from Jamal Hill, obviously showing it to his opponent, but like, who the hell's gonna say like, no, dude, like, bad Yuri? Like, that's just a good moment from Yuri, dude. Honestly, really good guy. And right after that great wholesome moment between Yuri and Dana White, Umar jumps back in and goes, Merab, why did you leave Georgia to come to America? I'm more Georgian than you. And then it goes right back to the shit talk, back and forth, these two going at it forever. I think that Umar like knew that he could just say one thing, it would set Merab off to go nuts, trying to distract Merab. But I also think Umar was starting to get a little bothered too, and he's like playing into it. The other thing, it's like, these guys, bro, like, my cousins are big fucking Dagestani wrestling fans because they got into the sport super recently, and they just see all this shit that it's like, oh my god, Khabib was 20-0. Oh my god, Islam's dominating the sport right now. Oh my god, Umar's 18-0 and about to fight for the title. Like, so they just glaze the shit out of it, and they know it pisses me off too. And they're like, dude, they're super humble. They're humble, brother. They're always something. I'm like, dude, when the fuck are these guys? These guys are fake humble. They gaslight you by saying they're fucking humble, and then you have Khabib talking shit to Max Holloway and fucking yapping at McGregor back and shit like that. Islam's always throwing shade at people, but like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. I like the shit talk. Like, we want to hear that, but don't fucking fake being humble. And then Umar's not being fucking humble by talking shit about Merab and his Georgian descent, calling him not Georgian and shit like that. It's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we fucking doing? I don't know. It was weird. They're not humble. They pretend they're humble, but they're not always humble, dude. Like, they're humans. They do what humans do. They'll yap, they'll talk shit, they'll build the fight. That's what we want to see. God, what else happened after that? That was funny because Yuri and Dana have such a wholesome moment. Then you get fucking Umar just throwing another piece of shit at Merab, so Merab goes off. Jamal Hill gets asked a question. He starts getting drowned out by Shama chants. Merab's going like this, like, yeah, thinking they're chanting Jamal, 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 but they're going Shama, Shama. It's like, fucking Merab, dude. I want an IQ test. I just need to know. Like, the over-under might be set at like 32 and a half for his IQ score. Like, oh my God. It's funny, though. It really was funny to see. But he's getting drowned out, and the crowd finally calms down, lets the guy ask the question to Jamal, see if Jamal can hear it. But instead of Jamal hearing it, he's got Merab in his ear yapping and yapping and yapping, and to the point where like Jamal's like, all right, bro. Okay, thank you. They're asking me a question. And then he just looks at the reporter. He's like, sorry, can you ask that again? Knowing that in his head he's going, sorry, this dude was just yapping my ear off while you're asking me a question at a press conference that I'm supposed to reciprocate and answer. Can you say that again? Because I couldn't hear with Merab literally trying to control every single situation. Like, dude, he literally thought he was the main character in this whole thing, which he actually ended up being. He was the only one that was like super, super entertaining. Like, Moicano was pretty good, but he was the only one that was like dead set entertaining and selling the shit out of this press conference. But he did like have the main character syndrome where it like genuinely had to be all about him. He was just like going crazy up there. I don't know if it was the weight cut or if just he's got a fucking pea brain, which he does, but like, it's what it is. It was funny, dude. It's just Jamal's getting asked a question, and it cuts over to like the guy asking the question, then it cuts back to Jamal, and all of a sudden you see it's Merab in Jamal's ear as he's getting asked a question, so Jamal just like can't even hear it. That was a funny moment. Then they start to get to Moicano, and like he goes, before you ask a question, my brother, I want to say, shout out to everybody in the fire department for Los Angeles, which is great. Like, kudos for that. Shout out to all the people that are actually working hard over there. But then he throws, you guys deserve better than Gavin Newsom. That's bullshit, my brother. Which they also do. Everyone deserves better than Gavin Newsom. He fucking sucks. But saying that might be just enough to get him robbed of a decision. I want to make people aware of that. Gavin Newsom's corrupt as shit. He's a pussy bitch. I'll call a spade a spade. He don't give a fuck about his people. He cares about lining his pockets. And he cares about making sure that everyone gives him a pat on the back and lying and manipulating people so he can keep his position of power. That's all he cares about is his position of power and his money. He don't give a fuck about the people of California, or he would have done a much better job cleaning up the state. But Moicano calls a spade, man. Just like most people in America will call a fucking spade when they see it. I know 50% of people didn't used to do it, but now the tides are turning, man. We're back. America's becoming America again. I'm not just taking shot at, the people that you think I'm taking shots at. It's like, dude, it's gotten egregious, and Gavin Newsom's done a terrible fucking job, and, California wasn't prepared for something they all should have been prepared for. And Moicano fucking calls that out. He says, you deserve better than Gavin Newsom, everybody does, which the crowd agrees with. Based, Moicano. But that little moment makes me think that the California State Athletic Commission can get a quick call from and I know everyone's going to call it conspiracy theorists, blah, 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 fucking, you're red pilling too hard. Listen, dude. We have seen judges rob the fighters, like, I don't want to say Sean Strickland because it wasn't a robbery, but like the decision that close wasn't going to go to Sean Strickland when Sean Strickland's calling out Trudeau and talking shit about Canada. Same shit happens everywhere. You say something bad about the people in Abu Dhabi, they're going to rob you of a decision, even though they would just do that anyway. Dude, this just seems like one of those situations where Gavin Newsom cannot like that someone spoke up about how terrible he is. And the commission may be on his side, and they can just say, yeah, you shouldn't have said that, Moicano. We're giving the fight to Beneil Dariush if it goes to decision. I can see that. Now, I don't think that will actually happen, but I can't rule it out. I genuinely can't. If it's close enough, and if the judges are a certain type of way, you see a judge over there, and they got, purple hair and giant fucking nose ring and a gaping hole in their ear because they need attention and, they're fatherless. It's okay. Dude, my dad left too. It's fine. It's TMI. But I can totally see them robbing Moicano because they don't like what he said about Gavin Newsom. I can fucking see it. Hope that's not the case. But it's not just the Newsom thing. It's also he's calling out the state of California for how fucking terrible their tax policy is, which it is terrible. They collect so much fucking money from people in the state and then don't use it towards anything actually productive to help their state, like cleaning up all the fucking brush to stop a fire that is inevitable in Los Angeles. Just saying, it was inevitable. You have firefighters coming out and saying it. You have Rogan coming out and saying it. You have everybody coming out and saying it. State Farm fucking left because he's like, you guys fucking fire policy's terrible. We're guaranteed to lose money if this happens. We're leaving. It is what it is, dude. That's just what it is. And now he's calling out the tax policy over there. And then he calls himself a free market capitalist, my brother. It's just, I love Moicano, dude. He's funny as shit. He just says shit, and like sometimes you're not supposed to say it out loud because people will get upset, but like, dude, it's really funny. It is fucking funny. I don't care what side of the spectrum you sit on, bro. It's funny as shit. I'm funny because, especially to hear this from a guy that has broken ass English from Brazil to come here and speak to Americans and sound more American than some of the people that live here today is fucking hilarious to me. It's hilarious to most people. I love that he gets the respect he deserves from the fans now. Jamal Hill's clapping it up because I'm free market capitalist, brother. And Jamal Hill's just like, my guy. Like my fucking guy. Ow, dude. I just fucking elbowed my table. Xbox controller, actually. Because I'm fucking sick at COD. God, what else happened? Yeah, the Gavin Newsom shit, the fucking tax shit. Then him and Benil Dariush actually do have a moment going back and forth, and they're like, I respect Benil Dariush, my brother, but I have to beat the shit out of you. You have to fucking eat what you sow, or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the exact phrase he used, but he's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of Dariush. I like Dariush. Good guy. That was a little bit of a mix of a Brazilian and Dagestani accent, I guess, but he's just respectfully going to beat the shit out of Dariush. And Benil's like, hey, it's all right. We'll let God decide who's going to win, which is respect to Benil Dariush. And Moicano gave him respect back, dude, because he goes, yeah, absolutely. Fair enough, brother. We will let God decide. Shout out Jesus. And he's just getting himself a head start. Good little moment that they had there. Then DeRitter finally gets a question, and like, he's the kind of guy where it's like, dude, people don't really know me yet. I'm new to the UFC. I'm trying to gain some fans. So like, let me play like the typical BS to the crowd. Like, hey, you guys having a good time? So excited to be here. It sounds like you guys are ready to party. Let's get drinking and stuff. And Kevin Holland's on the other side just thinking like, dude, he thinks drinking's cool. Wait till he sees how much I smoke. He didn't actually say that. But that's just how I look at Kevin Holland now. Like, dude, I'm going to be real. I'm out on the Kevin Holland hype train, man. I'm out on the Kevin Holland fandom, honestly. He's really fucking annoying me. It seems he cares more about being cool to people than actually training and going out there and winning fights. He's trying to win people over by being the cool guy, like, dude, that California Kush, man. And that's what he says. He goes, that fucking California Kush, man, it's some of the best shit we have, bro. Love smoking that reefer. No one can smoke me under the table. That's one of the things he said at his fucking press conference. I'm like, or his media day. I'm like, dude, what? Why are you fucking pandering so much to try and act cool? You sound like a 17-year-old high schooler trying to fucking seem cool to all the kids at school. Like, what are you doing, bro? Care about your fucking fight. Actually, do what you want. You make a fucking bag, but like, don't expect me to be up here and not see through that absolute petty high school garbage. Dude, can't wait to fucking smoke some weed, man. It's gonna be great. You can party even after I punch you in the face and lose. But, and then he goes, yeah, please don't shoot a takedown. I don't want to wrestle for at least the first 2 to 3 minutes. So my guy's barely fucking training wrestling. Wouldn't care to. He just does the same shit, bro. Like, he don't train. He's in there for a paycheck. And like, dude, if you're in there for a paycheck, call a spade a spade. That's what he says. Like, he's in there for a paycheck, and I respect that he says he's in there for a paycheck. But, like, how am I supposed to sit here as a fan of the sport and be like, yeah, dude, I'll pick Kevin Holland. He's going to win. I believe in him. I trust him. When he only cares about acting and looking cool. Yeah, so Renier DeRitter by sub is a fucking lock now. What else? So he's hyping him up, and Renier doesn't really get asked the question yet, or he doesn't answer the question he's asked. He's kind of doing this crowd pandering. Kevin Holland does his thing. And then there's like an awkward, like, second of silence. And out of nowhere, Merab goes, shout out Armenia! Shout out to all my Armenian brothers. I see there's a lot of Armenian people in the crowd. Merab is not let me preface this. Merab did not get asked a question. Renier DeRitter still needs to answer his question. And Merab just shouts out Armenia. He does go, all the Armenians in the crowd, shout out all these guys. And Dana White and Renier DeRitter just like look at each other, and they both at the same time going like, Okay, back to the question, and it was just a fucking hilarious moment because Merab, you could tell, like, he hadn't said anything in like 5 full minutes. So he had to jump in and just say something. So that was a really funny moment as well. The Ritter gets back to answering the questions. Can't wait. It's going to be a good fight. Can't wait to go out and party with the people after this. Blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much what the press conference was. Face-offs look good. Like, Merab and Umar stand awkwardly far away from each other. Islam and Arman have a pretty good stare down. Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska have the best one, as I'm assuming you guys would all know. Moicano and Dariush had a pretty casual one. Shook hands. It was all good. It was a decent press conference. It was. But I gotta say, dude, like I said at the beginning of the video, like, I'm not the biggest Merab fan. I hate his style. Think he's boring as shit. Goes on these tangents that are way too long, but funny guy. He's just funny to, like, watch and just watch him behave. Like, it really is funny. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the press conference reaction. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm excited for this fight weekend, dude. It's going to be really good. The fights are going to deliver. This is a stacked card. We can talk about how shitty UFC 312 is after this. Trying to do all positivity stuff here. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please like and subscribe. It means a lot.